In today's video, we're going to be covering everything you need to know about building a custom home, from researching the builder, area and lot selection, interior design selection, and representation. And if you stay till the end, we're going to give you a secret tip on how to spy on custom home builders to know if they're actually a good builder. So the first important thing may seem obvious when building a custom house. It's research on the builder that you're planning on working with. And it sounds obvious, but it's more than just doing research online. You want to go and visit projects that are already completed. You want to have the ability to contact customers who have already experienced a build process with them, see if it's your style and it's the right people that you vibe with and want to work with. Especially when building a custom home, it could take 12 to 18 months. Yeah. So you will be with this builder for a pretty long period of time. Does their product stand out? How is the service? How is the workmanship? How is the warranty? How does all that stuff work?
Having been with a custom home builder now for half a dozen years, I've seen other builders go bankrupt during the build process. So it is really important that you investigate the builder that you want to work with, make sure they're solid, on good footing, that they have really good references. So you're going to want to ask for 2 to 3 references of people that built with them, and call those people personally and ask them how the whole process went. What was communication like? Was the builder finished on time? Did they run into any issues? When they ran into issues, how did they deal with them? Understand that builder is going to do the right thing and communicate with you at all times. So really important that you do your due diligence on the builder. Don't just get distracted by the shiny new ShowHome problem, especially if you're going in an estate area, like an actual development. Then you're gonna have, usually a ShowHome. That ShowHome's gonna be all done up, and you can easily get distracted. Say, yes, this is what I want. Your due diligence, take your time, investigate the builders properly.
Quick interruption. We want to keep bringing you real estate value every single week, and 60% of our audience is not subscribed. So if you could take a moment and hit that subscribe button, we would be super, super grateful, and we will keep bringing new heat every week. If I'm going to do my research on a custom home builder that maybe I want to work with, I know you have a little hack for the job site. Why don't we go through that?
So big tip for everybody, if you're building a custom home, make sure you go around to the other job sites that builder is currently building on. So if you're in a subdivision, they should have a few on the go, so you can check the job sites. If not, ask them where they're building. So if you're doing acreage work, and go to those job sites and see how they're being run. You want to see a clean job site. You want to see good communication amongst the contractors that are on there, and then hopefully you can even have a conversation with either the construction manager on site or a contractor and just see how the builder flows.
Yeah.
Usually if there's problems, the contractors are feeling it too, and you might hear some of that come out. But really look at that job site. You can tell a huge difference between the good builders and the bad by seeing how they conduct themselves there.
The second thing may also sound obvious, but it's choosing the right area and lot selection for your custom house. Now we're gonna have different stuff. We're gonna have subdivisions where there could be a parade of custom home builders, which you could have the selection of choosing one of them, and they have lots. Some of the builders may own the lots and they've already bought them from the developer. Builders sometimes trade lots amongst themselves, so it's important to identify which lot you like and also who owns that lot. You may not be building in a subdivision, so you could actually be looking at buying maybe a 5 or 10 acre parcel, and in that case you'd be bringing a custom home builder to come build that house somewhere outside of the city.
If you're on the acre side of things, really important to hopefully pick your builder before you get that lot, just because there's a lot of things that go into the placement of the home on the lot, the excavation required. You could force a walkout in most places, but it could get really expensive. Could be $150,000 extra just to dig out your walkout if you don't have a good grade, a good slope on your property already. So really think ahead of time of what you're looking for, and then the builder can help you select a good lot there. If you're in a neighborhood, think about where you want the sun and the light to be on your house and on your backyard. So are you a garden person? Do you want a hot backyard, south facing, west facing for mountain views potentially? Think about what's important to you there. I've seen a lot of people, constantly just talk about walkouts. When you do a big walkout and you have a deck across the entire thing, that actually blocks a lot of light for your basement. So if a sunny, really bright basement is what you want, a walkout might not actually be the thing you want. And a lot of people have that misconception in their head for sure.
As far as area and lot selection, when you're building something outside of the city, so you're outside of a subdivision, a cost that you need to keep in mind is also road. Like, what's it gonna cost to actually bring a road into this property if it's just bare land at this time? And we're also talking septic systems, well systems, in addition to the road. And these are things that people don't necessarily budget for if this is their first time. They might just think, oh, I wanna be outside the city, we get this all the time actually. I wanna buy a 10-acre piece of property outside the city, it's super cheap, I'm gonna build my dream house. But it's more than just building the house when you're in that situation. You could have to remove trees, you could have a bunch of excavation work, wells, septics, roads, utilities. You could be 150 grand right there easily. So again, something to keep in mind.
On the utility side of things, I think people miss gas and electricity costs these days too. So definitely something to keep in mind is how far you have to run these lines. So I quote to run a new line to my house, and it was going to be $20,000.
Just for the gas line.
Just for electricity run. Yeah. So it can get up there really fast. It can really hurt your overall project cost. So do some investigation there. As far as where their land is and what's beside you, something to keep in mind too is future development. So you might buy something now that has nobody around you, but look into potential plans for the land around you and see if the development might be coming down the road.
Yeah.
Because you might have a high density development in 5, 6, 8 years.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be that soon, you will know that there's something going on. So look up county documents, ask your neighbors what's going on as far as development purposes, so that you don't get a row of townhouses 8 years from now right in front of your face.
Next on the list is interior design and selection. All builders have a bit of a different process on how they go through material selection. Some of them have design centers, which is really handy, especially in the custom home space. You're generally gonna have a builder with a design center if they're set up, and that gives you the ability to see the different types of flooring, pick your carpets, pick your cabinets, pick your handles. And one thing that people don't really realize when you're building a custom house, you are picking absolutely everything, down to the door handle, size and color, and the size of the baseboards and the type of tile, and it can be really overwhelming.
Yep. There's a lot that goes into each house, and if you're not used to the custom space, if you've built before but with a big builder, a volume builder, then your selection might have been minimal, like maybe your cabinet color or flooring. In this case, you're doing a custom home, it is everything. So keep that in mind going in, and we really recommend you work with an interior designer to help you put the whole thing together. It will really cut down on your stress and your partner's stress and give you some guidance on the overall flow of the home. So we do see a lot of times people will pick flooring and then they hate it when they put it in the house because like, oh wait, that flooring didn't actually really go with that backsplash very well. So it's good to have a designer in your corner. Some builders will have a designer that you can use. Some will want you to bring your own interior designer. So that's something in that investigative portion. Before you pick a builder, you're going to want to discuss that. So the builder I work with a lot, we either offer up the one we use quite often. They can pay them directly, or they can bring their own. So it really depends there. But you're going to want some guidance there. And then I think my big tip on picking your interior selections is try not to do everything in the same week.
Right.
Space everything out.
Yeah.
I usually say maximum 1 appointment a day. So if you're going to flooring company, that's your appointment for the day. Yeah. Don't pile a bunch of things on because you will forget what you picked, or you will get tired and make the wrong selection. So space it out. Don't leave everything for the last minute. Yeah. And you're going to be excited, but you can burn yourself out if you try to get everything done very, very quickly. Let's talk project creep really quick. So if you don't have a designer or somebody else in your corner to keep your costs added up as you go, it's really easy to creep and just add 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000, like keep going. Yeah. It's really quick. You could burn an extra 100 grand off your original budget if you're not careful. So if you are picking everything yourself and doing the interior design, make sure you have your budget and you're keeping track as you're making those selections, so you don't end up with a bunch of change orders at the end of the day that are going to cost you $100,000 more. Something that is worth mentioning when it comes to designing your house is you want to also think about things that are very difficult to change down the road. So structural things are the most important thing to think about in the very beginning. Obviously we jumped and we're talking about carpet and flooring and things like that, but what is your ceiling height? It's very difficult to change your ceiling height down the road. When they're pouring a foundation, if you want a 10-foot ceiling, you might as well get that done now. A lot of people also think when they're building custom houses that
this will be the place that I die. And sometimes that is the case, but more often than not, the custom dream house, life changes, things happen. Maybe instead of the 20-year house, it becomes the 10-year house.
Yep.
So yes, customize it to your liking. You're spending a lot of money, you're building a beautiful house, but at the same time, keep some resale stuff in mind. You know, you can go a little crazy on a custom house, but you want that to be appealable to somebody else down the road should you need to sell that property. And more often than not, the custom house that someone's gonna be there forever, they call us 5 or 6 years later and say, hey, times are changing, so.
I think that really comes down to guidance, which is a good segue. So we talked about having a designer on your side, but guidance also on the realtor side is important. So if you have a realtor, use a realtor to help pick your custom home builder and guide you through this journey. Most realtors don't have experience in the custom home side of things.
And most realtors, honestly, most realtors are not suited to represent you to build a custom house. Just most agents don't even know how houses are built, to be honest with you. So I think there's a misconception with the public also that they have to go to the builder directly, they have to work with the builder, and the builder will do everything. And that's possible, you certainly can.
Yeah.
What we found is having some advocacy on your behalf, someone to field that information, and also a professional to soundboard on, especially with things when it comes to structural elements that you might not even think about. And if the builder's busy with other clients, they might not bring that up to you at that time. We have the ability to negotiate on your behalf, try to get upgrades included, or things that you might not even be thinking of. Another important thing is, we bring an inspector throughout the whole build process as well to, check at framing and roughing and electrical. So we have the ability to provide an extra layer of protection for our clients when they're building a custom house. And to be honest, emotional support too, because it can be very stressful when you and your partner are building a house, and to have that extra person there, it is a big impact. And on the commission side, I think a lot of consumers think that, well, if I go to the builder by myself, I'm gonna get a better deal because the realtor's not gonna get paid. And sometimes that's the case, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is the case where the builder is offering compensation, they may give you a smaller credit.
Yeah.
They're certainly not gonna give you the whole commission as a discount. They might give you $5,000 or something, but the value that you would get having representation with the right agent, I'm not saying every agent, but the right agent, it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, I see a lot of agents just dump their clients onto a builder, whether it's big builders or these custom ones, and that's definitely a problem because there's no point of bringing them into the relationship. But if you have somebody that's experienced in the home building process, guide you through what to pick for resale purposes versus what you want exactly, have that sounding board, and like Riley said, keep the stress level down as much as possible. More often than not, we're seeing this process take 18 months now on almost every custom home build. So it's a long haul. You want to have a good relationship with your builder, with your designer, and with your real estate agent.
We hope you enjoyed the video today. You should be feeling equipped and ready with the right information so that you can build a custom house. And just remember, not all realtors are the same. Most agents are not equipped to help you build a custom home. As a matter of fact, we are some of those people who can. So if you're thinking about building a custom home in Calgary or the surrounding areas, please reach out to us using the link in the description, and we will see you on the next one.